My girlfriend laughed during the meeting. He's only here because of me. A few coworkers glanced at me. I didn't interrupt. Sure. I stayed quiet until the meeting ended. Later that afternoon, a question was asked in private that completely changed who everyone thought I was. I'm 36, and I've been working at the same company for 5 years. My girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years, living together for the last year and a half. She joined the company about 8 months after we started dating. I helped her with her application, gave her some interview tips, connected her with a few people internally. Standard stuff. She got the job on her own merits. I made that clear to her and to anyone who asked. She was qualified, had the right experience, interviewed well. But somewhere along the way, she started believing a different story. The story where she was the one with all the connections, all the influence, all the power, and I was just there, riding her coattails. It started small. Comments at home about how she'd introduced me to people at work events, even though I'd known them for years. How she'd helped me network, even though I'd been networking in this industry since before we met. How she'd elevated my profile, even though my work spoke for itself. I laughed it off at first, thought she was joking or just feeling good about herself. But it kept escalating. She started telling these stories to our friends, to her family, and apparently to our coworkers. Last Tuesday, everything came to a head. We had a department meeting, about 20 people in the conference room, another 10 on video call, quarterly review, project updates, the usual. My girlfriend and I were both presenting, separate projects but back-to-back on the agenda. She went first, did well, solid presentation, got good feedback from our director. Then it was my turn. I started presenting my project, walking through the data, the progress we'd made, the challenges we were facing. About 10 minutes in, during a technical explanation, our director asked my girlfriend a question about integration with her project. She answered, then added, "Yeah, and honestly, he's only here because of me. I got him into most of these meetings." She laughed when she said it, like it was a joke. A few coworkers glanced at me. I felt my face get hot, but I didn't interrupt, just said, "Sure," and moved on with my presentation. The rest of the meeting was a blur. I finished my section, answered questions, sat down. My girlfriend didn't seem to notice anything was wrong. She was on her phone, smiling at something. After the meeting, people filtered out. A few gave me sympathetic looks. One guy from my team patted me on the shoulder. I packed up my laptop and went back to my desk. My girlfriend came by about an hour later, all smiles. "Good meeting, right?" "Yeah. Your presentation was good. A little technical, but good." "Thanks. Want to grab lunch?" "I've got a call in 10 minutes." "Okay, later then." She walked away. I sat there staring at my screen, replaying what she'd said. He's only here because of me. In front of our coworkers, our director, our entire team. I stayed quiet until the meeting ended. Didn't confront her, didn't make a scene, just processed it. Later that afternoon, around 3, our director called me into her office. "Got a minute?" "Sure." I walked in. She closed the door, gestured for me to sit. "I wanted to talk to you about the meeting earlier." "Okay." "What your girlfriend said, about you being there because of her, that was inappropriate. I wanted you to know that. I appreciate that. I also wanted to ask you something, and I'm asking because I realize I don't actually know the answer. How did you end up at this company? What's your background?" And that question, that simple question, completely changed who everyone thought I was. Update 1, I looked at my director. She was waiting for an answer. And I realized she genuinely didn't know. My girlfriend had been spinning her version of events for so long that even our director thought it might be true. "I was recruited 5 years ago," I said, "headhunted from my previous company. I'd been working in the industry for about 8 years at that point. The recruiter reached out because of a project I'd led that got some press. The company was looking for someone with my specific experience to launch a new initiative. My director nodded slowly. And your girlfriend? She joined about 2 years later. I helped her with her application, gave her some advice. But she got the job herself. She was qualified. So you've been here longer than her? 3 years longer, yes. And you came in at what level? Senior specialist, got promoted to lead about 2 years in. My director leaned back in her chair. And your girlfriend joined as associate. She's a specialist now. So you're 2 levels above her. Currently, yes. She was quiet for a moment. Then, why haven't you corrected this narrative? The one where she's the reason you're here? I shrugged. At first, I thought she was joking. Then it seemed petty to correct. I figured people who mattered would know the truth, but clearly I was wrong about that. People believe what they're told repeatedly, especially if no one contradicts it. Lesson learned. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been operating under the assumption that you were brought in through her referral, that you're here because of her connections. That's shaped how I've viewed your work, your contributions, your potential. That stung, but I kept my face neutral. And now? Now, I'm going to look at your work with fresh eyes, and I'm going to have a conversation with her about professional boundaries and workplace behavior. I'd rather you didn't. Why not? Because I don't want this to become a thing. I don't want to be the guy whose girlfriend had to be reprimanded for lying about him. It's not about you. It's about her spreading misinformation that affects how the team perceives both of you. That affects decisions I make about assignments, opportunities, promotions. She had a point. I nodded. Okay. But can we keep it between you and her? Not make it a team thing? Agreed. I left her office feeling strange, vindicated, but also exposed. I'd spent 3 years letting my girlfriend take credit for things she hadn't done, letting her build a false narrative, and it had backfired on both of us. That evening at home, I didn't mention the conversation with our director. My girlfriend was in a good mood, talking about her presentation, about feedback she'd gotten. I made dinner, we watched TV, everything seemed normal. But I was watching her differently now, listening to how she talked about work, about our roles, about our relationship, and I noticed things I'd been ignoring before. I was thinking, she said during a commercial break, I should probably introduce you to the VP. I've been building a relationship with her, and it could really help your visibility. The VP had hired me, personally, 5 years ago. I'd worked directly with her on 3 major projects. That's nice of you, I said. I just want to help you succeed, you know? You're good at what you do, but you're terrible at politics. Someone has to look out for you. Right. What's wrong? Nothing. Just tired. She went back to her phone. I sat there wondering how I'd let this happen. How I'd let her rewrite our history so completely that even I was starting to doubt myself. Update 2. The next morning, I got to work early, checked my email. There was a message from our director, sent late last night, asking me to put together a summary of my projects over the past 5 years. Key accomplishments, impact metrics, that sort of thing. I spent 2 hours putting it together. It was longer than I expected, more substantial. Looking at it laid out like that, I realized I'd done a lot, more than I'd given myself credit for, and none of it had anything to do with my girlfriend. I sent the summary to our director around 10, got a response 30 minutes later. Thank you. This is impressive. Let's talk tomorrow about some upcoming opportunities. Around noon, my girlfriend came by my desk. She looked upset. Can we talk? Outside? We went to the parking lot. She was pacing, agitated. What did you say to our director? About what? About me. About us. She just called me into her office and asked me to explain my comment from yesterday's meeting. Said it was inappropriate and unprofessional. I didn't say anything about you. Then why did she bring it up? Maybe because you said something inappropriate and unprofessional in front of the entire team. It was a joke. It didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like you were taking credit for my career. That's not what I was doing. Then what were you doing? She stopped pacing. I was trying to be funny, to lighten the mood. By diminishing me in front of our coworkers? It wasn't like that. That's exactly what it was like. And apparently, you've been saying things like that for a while. Long enough that our director thought it was true. She looked shocked. She thought, what? She thought I was here because of you. That you referred me. That I'm riding your coattails. She didn't know I was recruited. Didn't know I've been here 3 years longer than you. Didn't know I came in 2 levels above where you are now. I never said you were. Maybe not explicitly. But you implied it. Repeatedly. And people believed you. She was quiet for a long moment. Then her face crumpled. Not with anger, but with something else. Realization, maybe. Shame. Oh my God, she whispered. I really did that, didn't I? I didn't answer. Just waited. I've been lying. To everyone. To myself. She looked up at me, tears starting. Why didn't you stop me? I tried to ignore it. Thought it didn't matter. It does matter. It matters so much. She covered her face with her hands. I don't even know why I started doing it. Maybe because I felt insecure. You've been here so much longer. You know so much more. And I just wanted to feel like I belonged. Like I had value. You do have value. You got this job on your own merit. But I didn't believe that. So I made up this story where I was the important one. Where I was the one helping you instead of the other way around. She was crying now. And I actually started believing it. That's the scary part. I convinced myself it was true. I felt my anger softening, not disappearing but changing into something else. Understanding, maybe. Why? I asked. Because the truth felt too small. I was the girlfriend who got a job at her boyfriend's company. People assumed you'd pulled strings. Even though you didn't. Even though I earned it. I still felt like I was in your shadow. So you tried to put me in yours. Yeah, and that was wrong. So wrong. She wiped her eyes. I'm so sorry for all of it. For what I said in the meeting, for the stories I've been telling, for letting it get this far. We stood there in the parking lot, both of us processing. I need help, she said finally. I think I need to talk to someone. About why I did this, about the insecurity and the lying and all of it. That's probably a good idea. And I need to fix this. At work. With people. I need to tell them the truth. That's going to be hard. I know. But I have to do it. Update 3. Over the next few days, my girlfriend did something I didn't expect. She started telling the truth. She went to our director first, apologized for the misinformation, and clarified the actual timeline of events. Then she started having conversations with team members, not making a big announcement, just quiet one-on-one talks where she corrected the record. I wanted you to know, she'd say, that I misspoke about some things. My boyfriend actually recruited me, not the other way around. He's been here much longer than I have. I was exaggerating my role, and that wasn't fair to him or to you. Some people were understanding, others were confused or uncomfortable. A few were angry that she'd misled them, but she kept going, kept apologizing, kept correcting. At home, things were different too. She'd started seeing a therapist twice a week. We had long conversations about insecurity, about professional identity, about the pressure she'd felt to prove herself. I think part of it was my dad, she said one night. He always made everything a competition with my brother, who was more successful, who made more money, who had the better job. I internalized that, made everything about winning. Even our relationship. And that's messed up. You're not my competition. You're my partner. I should have said something earlier, I admitted. Should have told you it bothered me. Why didn't you? Same reason you didn't stop yourself. I didn't want to make waves, didn't want to seem petty or insecure. So we both just let it fester. Yeah. She reached for my hand. Can we not do that anymore? Can we just be honest, even when it's uncomfortable? I'd like that. Update 4. 2 weeks after everything blew up, our director called me in again. I've been reviewing your work, she said, and I've been talking to other people on the leadership team. We're impressed. We've been underutilizing you. Okay. There's a new initiative starting next quarter. High visibility, strategic importance. We'd like you to lead it. What kind of initiative? She explained. It was big. The kind of project that could make or break a career. Significant budget, executive visibility, potential for major impact. I'm interested, I said. Good. There's one thing I should mention. Your girlfriend also expressed interest in this kind of work. Obviously, we're offering it to you based on your seniority and experience, but I wanted you to know and I wanted to ask, would that create any issues? I thought about it. A month ago, it might have, but things were different now. No, I said. We're working on our communication. If this is the right role for me, she'll support it. And when the right opportunity comes up for her, I'll support her. That's mature of you both. We're trying. That evening, I told my girlfriend about the project, watched her face carefully, looking for resentment or jealousy. Instead, she smiled. That's amazing. You're going to be great at it. You sure you're okay with it? Honestly? There's a part of me that's jealous, but that's my issue to work on, not yours. You earned this, and I'm proud of you. Thank you. Besides, she added, my therapist says I need to stop measuring my worth by comparing myself to others, especially to you. We're on different paths, different timelines. That doesn't make one better than the other. Your therapist sounds smart. She is. She also said I should probably look for opportunities that play to my strengths instead of trying to compete in areas where you excel. There's a cross-functional role opening up in the marketing partnership division. Less technical, more strategic relationship building. I think I might apply. That sounds perfect for you. Doesn't bother you? That we'd be going after different things? Why would it bother me? Because we wouldn't be in direct competition. You might actually surpass me in titles and recognition. I might. Or you might excel in your area and I'll excel in mine. Either way, we're both succeeding. That's what matters. She leaned against me. When did you get so wise? Probably around the time my girlfriend decided to start telling the truth. She laughed. A real laugh, not the performative one from the meeting. Fair point. Final update. It's been 3 months since that meeting where my girlfriend laughed and said, I was only there because of her. The new project I'm leading is going well. It's challenging, high pressure, but exactly the kind of work I wanted to be doing. My director has been great, giving me autonomy while providing support when I need it. My girlfriend got the role she applied for. The marketing partnership position was perfect for her. She's thriving in it, building relationships across departments, creating strategic initiatives that play to her strengths. Last week, she got recognition from the executive team for a partnership deal she brokered that's projected to bring in significant revenue. I was there when she got the news, saw her face light up, and I felt genuinely, completely happy for her. No resentment, no competition, just pride in watching her succeed on her own terms. The VP, the one who originally recruited me, reached out a few weeks after everything settled, said she'd heard about what happened and wanted to check in. We had coffee. You handled that situation with a lot of grace, she said. It wasn't about handling it. It was about understanding it. Still, a lot of people would have let that relationship implode, would have made it ugly. It almost did get ugly, but she took accountability. That changed everything. And you forgave her. That's not easy. She was struggling with something real. Insecurity, imposter syndrome, whatever you want to call it. When she finally admitted it and got help, how could I not support that? The VP smiled. You're good for each other. Don't lose that. At home, things are better than they've been in years. We have a new rule. Radical honesty. If something bothers us, we say it. If we're feeling insecure, we admit it. If we need support, we ask for it. Last week, my girlfriend came home stressed about a presentation. "I'm worried I'm going to mess it up," she said, "and everyone will think I don't deserve this role." Old me would have just reassured her. New me asked, "What makes you think that?" "Because it's a big deal. The executives will be there. What if I freeze up?" "Have you frozen up before?" "No." "Have you given successful presentations before?" "Yes." "Then why would this time be different?" She thought about it. "Because the stakes feel higher." The stakes are always high. You've handled it before. You'll handle it now. And if you don't, if you stumble, you'll recover, like you always do. She smiled. "My therapist says you're good at reality checking my anxiety spirals." "Your therapist talks about me?" "Sometimes. She says you're a supportive partner, that I'm lucky." "I'm lucky too." "Yeah?" "Yeah. You did something really hard. You admitted you were wrong, took accountability, and changed. Most people can't do that. I had to. I almost lost you. But you didn't." "No. We fixed it together." Looking back at that meeting, at that moment when she laughed and said, "He's only here because of me," I wish it hadn't happened. Wish we'd communicated better from the start. But I also know that sometimes people need to hit a wall before they can change direction. And when our director asked that simple question about my background, everything did shift. The truth came out, not because I finally stood up for myself in the moment, but because someone else asked the right question. And my girlfriend, instead of doubling down on the lies, chose to face them. That's what I learned. Truth matters. But so does what you do when the truth is revealed. You can deny it, defend it, justify it, or you can own it, apologize for it, and work to do better. My girlfriend chose the latter, and that made all the difference. I'm 36 years old. I'm in a relationship with someone who's learning to be secure in herself without diminishing others. I'm leading a project that could define the next phase of my career. And I'm done being quiet about what I've accomplished. But I'm also done keeping score. The question that changed everything wasn't complicated. It was just, how did you end up at this company? And the answer revealed a completely different story than the one my girlfriend had been telling. But here's the thing. That revelation didn't end our relationship. It saved it. Because it forced us both to look at what we were doing, what we were avoiding, what we needed to change. 3 months later, we are stronger, more honest, more supportive of each other's successes without feeling threatened by them. Sometimes that's all it takes. One question, one moment of truth, one person willing to own their mistakes and do the hard work of change. And everything changes, for the better.